My name is Bobby Hall. I'm originally from Belfast, Northern Ireland. I have lived in the States for a good number of years now. I came here as a part of a group of lads who wanted to bring Irish and British products to expats and Americans who might have a wee interest. As the company grew, I got more into the sales part of the job. I found myself travelling about the Philadelphia area, selling goods to shops and pubs and the like. In my travels, I met plenty of chefs and restaurant owners. There was one lad, Ceallach, a chef at a small pub outside the city of Philadelphia. He was of Irish and Scottish background. He and his family had moved here to work at a pub he was at. The food he was doing there was like nothing I had seen in that area before. Everything he was doing, he was making from scratch. The breads, the soups, the baked goods, even the condiments. Of course, I had seen other restaurants do scratch cooking, but not like this. This lad was different. He had been taught by his father, a butcher, and his mum, a baker from the town of Newry.
That was how all this was going to start. I met my friend Bobby 12 years ago. I was working as a chef in an Irish restaurant outside of Philadelphia. And Bobby, he was a salesman for an Irish imports company. And he'd pop in periodically to try and sell me stuff like HP sauce and Woodlands flour and Branston pickle. At that time, I was making all my own stuff from scratch. I made my own version of Branston. I made my own version of brown sauce. But he was a persistent bugger. We grew to be good friends despite me not really purchasing any of his goods. We shared other common interests. Good food, good whiskey and beer, and good conversation. I left the restaurant when new owners took over and decided to expand into a huge pub. It just wasn't my style. It wasn't long after that Bobby retired from the import business. We remained really close. I moved to an outlying area to an old farm. I went through a serious depression. Everything that I had been working on for years had come to a crashing halt. I tried blogging, I tried catering, I even tried cooking classes despite my fear of speaking in front of people. We called the business/blog a Kilt and a Cuppa. Bobby, he was my right-hand man. He was always there to support me and give me guidance. Back in February, before all this COVID madness hit, Bobby left us. He had a heart attack. It was a blessing. He had been a heavy smoker for years, but it feels like we were just getting started. He had convinced me to do a video series of British and Irish foods. I finally gave in. This was the intro to the series that we were going to use. We got one of the audio tracks of Bobby done back in November, and then he was taken ill, and that's all we got. Now I feel as though I owe it to him to go through with this. He believed in me so much, especially when I didn't have faith in myself. So as I said, this is how all this was going to start. Now with all this going on, I feel maybe it's the right time. So many of us need to connect with things that give us comfort. For me, it's all about this food and my love of it. I hope you'll join me on this whole new adventure. Please click below to subscribe. We're going to be doing Irish and British food the way it was meant to be. We're not watering it down. I'm going back to the old ways of doing things. I'll be looking at commercial products to see if we can recreate them at home. And I'll be looking at historical foods to see if I can bring them back into the century. I'm shooting this series here in our old farmhouse. It's all new to us. I'm mostly a one-man crew and learning as I go. So stick around and see where the journey takes us. Cheers.